And thank you for tuning in. The St. John's Red Storm needed a win desperately, standing at 0-3 in Big East play, and the Johnnies delivered with their season on the line. Yes, it was an absolute must-win game that St. John's won by a score of 94-83 at Carnesecca Arena. Look, the Johnnies were not going to beat Seton Hall and Creighton. Those were two clearly superior teams, the class of the Big East right up there with Villanova. But St. John's has to beat Georgetown at least once. Thankfully, they did so after falling short in DC. And really, just a great performance from Greg Williams Jr. A career high 26 points. He got it done scoring in all three phases, attacking the basket in mid-range and from three. Look, this might be a hot take, but I really believe that Greg Williams is absolutely talented enough to be a starting NBA guard. The whole issue for him is confidence. Can he believe in himself? Can he make his body work as fast as his mind? Because sometimes he tends to overthink things. But when we're talking about what a physical specimen he is, how talented he is, and what he can bring to the table, oh man, it really makes you wonder if he can be a truly late bloomer and turn into a superstar, because I've always thought the superstar potential with Williams has been there from day one. First things first, let's just see him become a star. If he can produce more nights like tonight, then he'll get there. I think a budding Big East superstar is Julian Champagnie, justifying the preseason all Big East hype he received with a 20-point outing of his own, 9 rebounds. Look, Champagnie has made great strides as a shooter, attacking the basket, and defensively. I wouldn't say it's an exaggeration to call the transition between Champagnie's freshman year to sophomore year a quantum leap. The best player for St. John's basketball. Maybe not the alpha just yet, but man, what a player. He has such a bright future ahead of him as well, and I just love the way Champ approaches the game. Of course, I more than love, I just adore and practically revere Posh Alexander's approach to the game. The first true NYC dog of a point guard that the Johnnies have had in a while. Look, Shamorie Ponds was a great point guard, but to be brutally honest, he never had the heart that Posh Alexander has. Posh Alexander is a warrior. He has the heart of a champion. He is relentless on defense. I mean, what a monster. Any lapse in judgment at any given moment in time can result in Posh Alexander picking your pocket. He has the potential, if he can cut down on the turnovers, to finish his career with more steals than turnovers. Look, that's a really difficult thing to do. Maybe first things first, focus on improving the assist-to-turnover ratio, but double-figure scorer tonight. You want to see more from Posh when it comes to shooting threes, but he can attack the basket, he makes his teammates better, and I certainly loved his alley-oops. The one sequence in the game in which I really believed that St. John's was going to take control after Georgetown cut St. John's lead from 16 all the way down to 2 was when Isaiah Moore knocked down a very smooth jump shot, and then on the very next possession threw down a Posh Alexander alley-oop. So I love what Isaiah Moore brings to the table. Extremely talented player in his own right. Look, he only scored 12 points, but it was a loud 12 points. What my biggest question is for St. John's head coach Mike Anderson at this point, though, is what's the deal with Vince Cole? Because Vince Cole, let's face it, he is the only really good three-point shooter on this St. John's team. I actually believe that the offense should run through Vince Cole. I think he needs way more minutes. I think whenever Mike Anderson sits him for more than 5 minutes at a time, that's just not a good idea, because a shooter that hot shouldn't be allowed to go cold by sitting on the bench. Perhaps it's a conditioning issue or the way he approaches defense. I don't know. But I hope that Iron Mike understands that the more involved Vince Cole is offensively, the better off St. John's will be. I really love Vince Cole's game. He just brings a completely unique skill set to the table that no other St. John's player has. So with the Johnnies taking this win, it's another step in the right direction after a really rough start to Big East play. It's been a really hard year so far. This is going to be the biggest challenge Iron Mike Anderson has ever had to preserve his record of never having a losing season, because St. John's is only 6-4 right now. They didn't have the opportunity to pad their schedule with a bunch of, cupcake wins like they normally have the privilege of doing. So it's going to take a Herculean effort in the Big East that simply would not have been possible without tonight's win. So major win for St. John's, season-saving win, and we will see how the Johnnies progress from here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you've watched for this long, you might as well subscribe to my channel.